this conversation around tanking. And the way you guys started off in training camp, I know how competitive training camp was. You guys have a lot of guys that have won and been accomplished in the league. So when you guys go into the year, like, are there any conversations like we want to be better than people think?
Yeah, I think it definitely feeds us. And like we talked about after a couple wins, and we had on our film meeting, we talked about we hate to see that every morning that when we win, we see that, oh, it's a surprise and whatever. So we use that as our motivation and just try to keep this thing going and stack up more wins and prove people wrong.
You get traded to Utah. I believe it was the middle of the night, late at night. What were your emotions when you got that call that you were being traded to Utah?
This is the first time happening unexpected. It was a shock. It took me a couple hours to kind of process and just really think about what's going to happen. And but then things calm down, and you get around the idea that you're moving to Utah, and then you're just excited for the opportunity. You see the guys that they have and the staff that they have, and so I think just pretty quickly turn into what we can do with this group of guys.
So one of your teammates, Malik Beasley, said he feels like you're an all-star. Now that Malik has floated that out there, is that a goal of yours now? Like, have you put that? Are you going to try to speak that into existence for Malik?
Yeah, I mean, I've always said, even in public, that that's one of my personal goals to eventually make it, and I'm not looking into that 10 games in, but it's definitely a goal of mine to make it, and that fuels me every night I go out there. So it's definitely an extra boost, and then now it feels like I don't want to let him down. He brought it up and trying to speak it to existence. So I'm trying to do my best because I know when I play at that level, I help the team the most too, and that's what we all want to do, and we want to win basketball games. So me being the best version of myself, I know that's going to be helpful for the team.
And you go to Eurobasket, and you're one of the best players there, and that's when you have the Giannis's of the world, Luka Doncic, Nikola Jokic, and you're right up there as far as one of the best players at that tournament. How much for you was that a confidence builder, really a motivator going into this new season?
Oh, it was huge. And just going against the best guys, one of the best guys in the world, and showing that you can do it there. And that tells me that I can do it over here as well. And it was a big mental thing, obviously, but then at the same time, playing competitive basketball and World Cup qualifiers and Eurobasket the whole summer. So knowing that I'm going to be coming to training camp in the best shape of my life. So it was both mental and physical that kind of prepared me for the year.
How tough was it to be a guy that is drafted really high, know the type of role that you can play on a team, and kind of be strong in different roles that might not be comfortable for you?
I'm the person who always looks in the mirror first and tries to figure it out. So then when it was hard, I think I just put even more pressure on myself to make the next play. Like, if you don't get as many shots or whatever, and then you better make these shots count. And then it was just a vicious circle, just trying to figure it out. So it was a tough year, and I think it got to a point that it wasn't that much fun anymore, and the last 2 years in Chicago. So it was a big thing for me to be in Cleveland, and such a fun year that we had with that group of guys. And so now it's just so much easier to go out there and play the game I fell in love with.
Will Hardy, JB Bickerstaff, they have some similarities. What are the comparisons between the two situations from a coaching perspective?
Both teams, we had versatile guys. We play with 3 bigs in both teams. So, I mean, both teams, we had multiple players in each position that can make plays. Like here, we have guys that we get the rebound and push the ball rather than trying to find the called point guard every time. So I think that makes our game faster, and So there's things of that nature when you say about playing freely, and that we try to get stops on the defensive end, and that fuels our offense because we have multiple guys that can push the ball and play in that style of play.